Julliard's Gary Thor Wedow, one of today's leading opera conductors, brings his Baroque expertise to Judas Maccabaeus, a heroic tale of resistance and triumph. Will be based in the summer arts mecca of Saratoga Springs, New York, at Skidmore College.
Handel is like an incredible vehicle, a kind of comic strip Batman Batmobile. It's got a German engine and it's got an Italian body. He was a master of harmony and intricate fugues and intricate harmonic journeys and structure. Then he also, because of the time he spent in Italy and all the work he did with these great Italian singers, he was a great melodist. He wrote some of the greatest, most meaningful, heartfelt, emotion-laden melodies one could imagine. So those are my two goals in every rehearsal: to declaim the text in a way that is meaningful and clear for the audience, and to sing as beautifully and as healthily as we possibly can. And combining those two, I feel very clearly that the most important thing for the singer to do is to communicate the text and the emotion to the audience. And we can only do that by carefully rehearsing, carefully placing the words, the consonants, the vowels, but doing it in a structured, clean way. And that way is the way to the emotion of the text and the emotion of the music. They're all so connected. You can't really, in Handel, tear them apart.
Are there any particular passages in Judas Maccabaeus of which you are particularly fond?
Well, yes. And of course, because I'm so fond of this and fascinated by this connection of text to music, the first chorus in the oratorio, "Mourn ye afflicted children," has this incredible passage where they're mourning the death of their fallen leader and who is going to lead them from now. And they cry out, your hero, friend and father is no more. And then every section, the tenors, the basses, the sopranos, everyone echoes this sentiment. So you hear this huge tribe, this huge family really mourning their fallen leader. And it's extraordinary. And then I just can't have one. Can I have a couple?
Yes.
The beginning of part 2, which is extraordinary for a couple of reasons. They return in triumph after a battle, and they sing, "Fallen is the foe, fallen is the foe, so fall thy foes." And we know how this was both written, the libretto was written, the words for this were written, and how the music was written, because Thomas Morell, the librettist, writes in a letter how he gave the first part to Handel, and Handel said, "Gut, so what comes next?" And Thomas Morell thought on his feet and said, "Well, I believe the Israelis return in triumph, and we should say something like, fallen is the foe, das gut. Fallen is the foe, fallen is the foe. So what next? So what next? Thomas Morell said, well, I'll go and think on it and I'll come back tomorrow. He said, no, 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 no. Now, tell me now, tell me now. So Morell said, so fall thy foes. And Handel sat down at the harpsichord and wrote it. So it was this lightning strike moment that you can see this great genius taking this text, making it into music that then became this extraordinary chorus. There are so many moments like this in Judas Maccabaeus where the text becomes music, and there are these huge dramatic scenes where an aria becomes a chorus and becomes a huge scene. Handel in Judas Maccabaeus brings all of his dramatic structure to the oratorio plate. And I feel in the 19th and early 20th century, Handel was revered so much that you couldn't perform it unless you did it in a reverential manner. But everything we know about him as a person shows him as a very lively human being with a wonderful sense of humor, a great sense of drama. And so I feel his music has this incredible rhythm behind it, which is the dance, and has this incredible oratory, rhetorical nature. The text always comes forward in Handel.
You've conducted for us many times. Can you talk a little bit about what keeps you coming back?
Whenever I come back to BCI, first of all, I always learn something. I learn many things from you, from the choristers, from the young conductors. I am surrounded at BCI by singers who love this repertoire and who know this repertoire and who are dedicated to performing it. And so it's this big vitamin B shot. It's this big rush of adrenaline and endorphins. You're with your tribe, you're with your group. So it's this connection of great repertoire in a great space with wonderful people who in 24 hours are your best friends.